Afternoon. But what I'm going to talk about is something very general, something which is quite fundamental in approach, unlike the detailed presentation on the laws which were made by my predecessor. Now, I'm a member of the tribunal, I hold this office, and therefore I have to give some clarification before I speak. First of all, anything which I state is not necessarily in my view. It doesn't affect my employer or for that purpose anyone. And I'm going to touch only with the judicial doctrine of substance over form. And I do not propose to deal with the GAR or with the role of judges in implementing this doctrine, on which you have separate sessions. Now, if you really look at what is doctrine of substance over form, it's a judicial creation. Now you have it codified, and you have as precisely codified with as much of fine details as we just heard in US. But essentially, it's a judicial creation, and it is invoked in the cases in which taxpayer has conducted a scheme of transactional relationships in documents with a view of tax advantages that flow from tax reporting it in that manner, rather than of the substance of the arrangement. The economic reality is thus hidden, and transaction exists in form only. That is what you call classical approach to the doctrine of substance over form. The way the relationships are created, the way the documents are formed, they show things which are advantages from the point of view of tax reporting, which flow of tax advantages which flow from tax reporting as such. However, the manner in which it is being implemented in India, in judicial doctrines, I would say, particularly in the recent years, and before that, of course, I have to clarify that this doctrine thus allows tax authorities to ignore the legal form of an arrangement and to look at its actual substance so as to prevent the artificial structures from being used for tax avoidance purposes. The entire theory of doctrine of substance over form is for the purpose of avoiding this kind of a use of artificial structures for tax avoidance purposes. Now, as I said, in its pure form, when on the basis of evaluation of evidence and analysis of facts, judicial authorities find that tax motivation for structuring the transaction outweighs business purpose or profit objective, it is held that taxpayers' effort or form does not reflect the substance of economic transactions, and on that basis, tax benefits are declined. Therefore, the doctrine of substance over form in its pure approach, all it says is what are the motivations in structuring the transactions in a particular manner. And in situations where tax motivations outweigh everything else, that is business objective or profit objective, then judicial authorities come to a conclusion that the form which is shown, it does not reflect the substance, and accordingly, what flows from that is that intended tax benefits, which were available based on the tax reporting as such, are declined. However, when we look at the recent Indian decisions, you find that it's a slight diversion from the classical approach to this, and this says that substance prevails over form only when the form has no commercial justification, and that's a big paradigm shift, because one thing is tax motivation outweighing the business consideration, and second thing is whether you have some business consideration at all or not. The way things stand today, and as I say so, I depend on the decisions which have been taken in the recent years, and of course by the highest courts. These are the cases where substance would prevail only when there is no commercial justification whatsoever, and the transaction is completely tax-driven. For example, in the last decision, which has been referred to a lot in Vodafone also, what they mention about is the commercial justification and the existence of commercial justification. But to my mind, if I approach this doctrine in its pure format, my question will be far more fundamental. My question would be in that situation, whether the benefits that I derive on tax and whether therefore the motivation or tax motivation I have, does it outweigh the business purpose? But that is not the case as far as the present Indian situation is concerned. Now, the question is, do we really need doctrine of substance over form in tax laws? I would think yes, we do. The reason is this. It is extremely difficult, if not altogether impossible, for legislation to keep pace with what I would prefer to call dynamism and innovations in business and commerce. And therefore, normative systems is when you prescribe what should be done in X situation and you lay down the broad principles, they cannot effectively handle the aggressive tax positions which are taken by businesses. It is putting it very sweetly. In simple English, the way you are designing tax structures, the way you are doing aggressive tax planning, any system of taxation which is normative in approach, where you lay down the broad principles and say apply these principles on those situations, cannot be effective. And therefore, some degree of flexibility is to be given to judges to deal with the cases which are not visualized by legislature. And then I would think that when you look at doctrine of substance over form as a judicial doctrine, then it is inherently more flexible than a statutory rule, and it can develop gradually. It is not something which is to be introduced overnight, and overnight situation changes. And from the point of view of revenue administration, I would think, or from the point of view of judiciary, it cannot be undermined by microscopic examination in search of loopholes. When you introduce any legislation for the purpose of doctrine of substance over form, then again there's an inherent paradox in this, because what you are looking at is, your problem is you have some law which deals with the norms, and this law is incapable of handling the situations which are more dynamic, and then you come up with the more law to deal with the situations which are not visualized. And then this microscopic analysis follows, and you try finding fault in what is wrong with the legislated provisions regarding substance over form. And therefore, I would think that on a conceptual note, this judicial doctrine of substance over form has more flexibility, gradual development, and it doesn't suffer from what they call it microscopic examination in search of the loopholes.